This is Channel 7 Melbourne, calling in stations throughout Victoria, South Australia and southern New South Wales.
These four men have enjoyed remarkable success since teaming up. The common bonds between them are the police force and rowing. With an average age of 45, they've won 3 national rowing titles in that age group, and that was just the beginning.
We decided to try our hand at rowing in a 4 at the Australian Veterans Championship, and once we did very well there, we decided we should push on further and try for the World Veterans Rowing Championships overseas. So it was ideal, and we're 4 police working together. We thought we could row together.
How do you think the discipline of your career helps you with your sport?
Oh, very much so. It's a disciplined force and it's a very disciplined sport, so they're working very much together.
Oh, you should hang on. There's 2 of you over here to get them. That's right.
The force is most definitely with them. The guys were determined to succeed internationally, having spent thousands of dollars on a new boat and just as many hours in training.
We're very surprised. The competition was very strong. We believe we'd done all our homework in Sydney, rowed very hard here. Once we get to the races overseas, we're ready, and we knew then we could do well. Once we started that first race in San Francisco, we did very well there, and it gave us great heart.
After their gold medal performances at the police games, the quartet wrapped up the 4s and 8s golds in the World Veterans Games. Technically, they all qualified for the police games in San Francisco, but stroke Peter Stroud and coxswain Grant Corbett are both park rangers. The remaining 3 gold medalists are policemen, Terry Hayes, Fred Griffith and Ian Toll. 72-year-old Fred Fullerton is the team coach, and he's got plenty of praise for his relatively young chargers.
Their attitude toward it is, well, we want to win. They're fit, they're out of the boat fitness, they're both all good runners.
It's a fine line between pleasure and pain. You've done it once, you can do it again. Whatever you've done, don't try to explain. It's a fine line between pleasure and pain. Pleasure and pain, you've done it once, you can do it again. Whatever you've done, don't try to explain. It's a fine line between pleasure and pain. You've done it once, you can do it again.
They're extremely fit, a consequence of the long hours of training, spurred on by the thought of more medals and titles, victories which require dedication from all concerned.
Willingness to row, determination to win, their attitude towards the rain, and maybe a little bit of good coaching.
Next on the agenda is the National Veterans Championship in January, and from there, the World. Karen Pratt for Sports World. Welcome back to Sports Sunday. Police officers face incredible pressures in their day-to-day duty. Psychologists are regularly called in to counsel those involved in dangerous or violent situations. There must be some way to relieve the pressure. You guessed it, this is one of them. Let's row!
Through the water.
Yeah, I'd say when my adrenaline's really pumping, just as much as when I'm going for a race. I'd never feel afraid, but I don't think I feel afraid. I feel an excitement, but I'm not afraid. Senior Constable Vicky Spooner, stationed at Sydney's Balmain and a member of the force for 16 years, has had her share of drama on the streets. Do you think people outside the police force realise what you're going through? I think they do. I think the average person in the street is aware of that, and that's what I think supports you more than anything, is knowing that the community do care. Vicky won gold at the 1986 Commonwealth Games as a member of the Women's 8.
They carry out another gold for Australia. Fantastic performance, girls. Well done.
And now, at the age of 37, has turned to this very competitive mixed 4.
Vicky, watch that right arm wing very badly.
Well, I'd have to say it's low-key compared to Commonwealth Games, but a lot more enjoyable and not quite so tiring or stressful.
She's one of a colourful quartet of police officers, aiming for gold medals at both the World Masters Games and the Police and Fire Olympics in Vancouver in August. The lineup: Sergeant Ian Toll, Fred Griffin, Constable Pauline Belmore and Vicky. To qualify for Veterans or Masters as they prefer to call it, you must be over 27, except for the coxswain, who just has to be a lightweight, but over 50 kilos.
Okay, let's build it up.
Michael Bryan urges them through the training hours, and he feels a totally different person in his police uniform.
Very different, because I'm now in the public eye, where you can relax 10 times easier out there in the boat and on the water than what you do as a job as a police officer.
Can you get away totally when you're out there on the water? What's it like?
Yes, you can. You can get away completely. You forget everything. It's such a beautiful feeling to have that long, slender boat running under you. Nobody can get at you. You can't get at anything but except row that boat and talk amongst yourselves.
Sergeant Frederick John Edward Griffin.
Fred Griffin has no stress problems, though sense dictates he should, after spending half of his 51 years in the force. Behind the smiles there are strains, and away from the salutes, the extra stress ripples away with every stroke. Fred started rowing in his teens, and the crew's current coach, 76-year-old Fred Fullerton, remembers that well.
Freddie was here when he was about 18 or 19 when I first taught him to row that day. Now he's well over 50 and still coaching him, so that's a great feeling for me.
Are you a tough disciplinarian?
Yeah, very. But you got to do it in a different way for these fellas, you know. You can't order them out like you order schoolboys about.
Keep up and down the centre of the boat and right out one side to the other.
We are the centre of attraction overseas at all times. They say, you guys got a coach there, or these Brits or whoever they might be, so they can't believe at veteran stage we've got coaches. And this guy is just unbelievable. We believe he's our winning edge.
Ian Toll is the man who forged this alliance in the face of difficult rosters and hectic schedules. A prime mover in police sports, he patrols and controls officer movement in the central Sydney area, in his element on busy Anzac Day.
Marches are now finished on this end and the rain is still howling down.
Sergeant Toll is also a veteran athlete and moonlights as a surf life-saving announcer.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you wish him all the best from the Thrill Club, Darren Mercer.
Thank you.
And with all the energy he expends on the beach, the beat and in the boat, he thinks the force, for their part, could do more to encourage sport in the ranks.
They don't do very much at all. What happens is that it comes from below. It comes from the NCOs and it comes from the other ranks who get the young people going. But no, the hierarchy of the police force is not sport orientated, but we have very good sport in the police force, very well organised by the middle ranks.
What does it do for your state of mind going out on a lovely morning like this?
Well, words really can't express it. It just makes living worthwhile, it really does. As I said, sometimes when you go to work, some things can really get on your mind. You go out here and you just forget about everything and you just realise how good it is to be alive. I work the F5 freeway and of course most accidents along there are pretty bad. And as I said, you do tend to bottle it up a little bit because you don't tend to. Most police don't talk to outsiders about their job.
Police speak the same language and understand each other's problems. Rowing here together, they're staying fit, social and sane.
Only thing, I never get stressed. I don't get too worried at all. I don't know why. We get lots of stressful situations, but I don't tend to get stressed too much. I'm not sure why. Might be just my character.
You let it all out?
Yeah, I think I take it out in the end of that oar out there.
He's taken out a lot of surf lifesavers over the years, Ian Toll. He's been a great competitor in the surf and a great motivator too. By gee, whenever you meet the fellow, he's always going somewhere. You've got a meeting to go to or something to organise, and a lot of that has been the Olympic Games that the police have within themselves too.
And he commentates the surf lifesaving events.
Yeah, he does a lot of things, Ian Toll, but I think it's good to see the police men and women that do sort of play sport within the ranks, because over the years they've developed some pretty good athletes.
And you know what was really different about that story? It was shot in Sydney, but it was a sunny day.
Yeah, must have been one of the rare times it's happened.